So welcome to today's Greater Life COffeeCast. And with today's focus being the pillar of health, my question is, how are you cultivating small in your life? And the inspiration that has prompted that question, that invitation, is that I record this for you sitting in a hotel room at the LegoLand Windsor Resort, where we have come for an overnight stay for my daughter's 10th birthday. And it is, it's vast. You're seeing these vast Lego creations, which are unbelievable, really incredible. But equally, you're seeing, vast numbers of people, vast spaces, paved with concrete, and vast queues. And throughout it all, my overriding sense has been that while it has been incredible to experience one or two of the rides that are here, and to immerse myself in the flow states that those can create, one in particular called the Flight of the Skyline is one of the best kind of theme park rides I've ever been on. It's really also a kind of incredible and quite scary hint at what the future may hold in terms of the whole kind of metaverse thing and all of that. It's a very powerful, immersive ride. And yet my overall sense has been that, and particularly what struck me was the way the park is laid out. That there is a set path that you have to walk in order to get places. You can't just cut through hedges and things like this. And that's my sense, is that wherever the bigger things get in terms of being man-made, the more we as humans must or seem to impose our will upon them. And yet we look at nature, and nature does not do straight lines. It does not do right angles. Okay? And what do we think of when we think of modern buildings and modern organizations is straight lines and right angles on some level, right? That things are neat and ordered. And therefore, whilst it's been enjoyable to experience the gifts of vast, of big, of large, it's left me pondering that when it comes to our health, in almost every situation, we are best to cultivate small. So let me share what I mean by that. Well, let me ask you, have you ever got stressed by not quite achieving all the things you wanted to achieve? And I know for myself that there are times when I set my expectations too large. And actually, had I set my expectations at a real level, or even perhaps below what I might have thought possible, but given myself the celebration and sense of achievement of attaining those small wins, then I'd have felt amazing and might have gone on to do more, as opposed to cultivating big expectations for a big to-do list and coming up short and feeling disappointed. So that's one way where, in terms of, say, our mental health, cultivating small, allowing ourselves to be not just content, but to genuinely celebrate small wins, is the very thing that sets us up for big success. And in terms of our social dynamics, you may have heard of the Dunbar's number, which is I'm not going to lie, I've got no idea whether he was an anthropologist, a sociologist, but who looked at human groups and noted that we had the capacity to hold about 150 close relationships. Like, beyond that, we can't really manage to maintain the intricate social fabric and an understanding of the connections of it. Okay, and that throughout history, almost whenever a tribe or culture reached more than 150, typically they would split off and go and form another branch of that tribe or culture. So here again is an example. That even though we may have 5,000 friends on our Facebook friends list, for example, the reality is that we can actually only really cultivate meaningful, deep, true human relationships with a much, much smaller number than that. And I think the other thing that cultivating small means for me, that I've mentioned in the past before, is that idea of slowing down, that fast leads to big. In our culture, like, can we go faster? Can we be more productive? Can we get bigger profits, bigger results, right? Now, that's not to say we don't want bigger profits and bigger results, right? But more to say that when it comes to creating a life and cultivating a life and building a business that enables us to thrive across all four pillars of health, happiness, home, and hustle, then the ability to sometimes, and some might say all the time, be willing to move at our pace is actually the thing that, above everything, will give us our greatest results. And for many, that is not going to be the more, rush, almost like mantra that has crept into the Western world. They call it the hustle, the grind culture, right? And had I had a choice, I might not have named the fourth pillar of business hustle. It simply, of course, had an H, right? So we've got health, happiness, home, and hustle. It kind of rolls off the tongue. But it kind of speaks to, in its extreme form, an unintegrated form of this bigness and speed culture. And so I think cultivating small is also about cultivating slow. So that is my invitation as we head into Monday. This week, today, how are you cultivating small? And in so doing, how might you be aligning yourselves with the forces of nature to let yourself become a force of nature? All right. Have a great day.